Alrighty, everybody. Welcome in. Let's get this show started. So sit back, relax, grab some popcorn, and let's have some fun. Please hit the like, subscribe, and follow button. And let's get this show going. Yeah. Hey, I'm back again. This is a little bit, sorry about that. About some things as I'm learning as I'm progressing and going through all this. This may be part of the little thing about a new Vtuber in 2026 type thing in the growth. So this is talking more about PNG versus a Vtuber. Because I started out as a PNGTuber. First it was nothing, but then progressed to a PNG, and now I technically went to PNG, then PNGTuber Plus, and then I went to a actual VTuber. So this is my current model right now. As you can see, the one I'm using. I do have a chibi version. That will be this one. And it's my inner child type stuff. And it's an interaction that the people in my chat can do and change me into a chibi. And that is the set for that. So one of the things that I'm going to talk about is kind of like where I all started. So I started with this model. And this was my basic model back in the day. Just kind of really just talked a little bit because I designed it not sure how to use it right. And then eventually I redid it and I put it through a PNGTuber Plus model. And that would be this model right here. And that's why I actually got my suit. And at this time, at that point, the hair moved, ears kind of moved, the eyes blinked, and his mouth kind of talked. And he did little gestures of giving fingers, holding a teddy bear, just some art and stuff that I drew and things. When I got a little bit going, and then not long ago, Emote Labs came out. And Emote Labs is a wonderful software, especially if you don't want to pay someone to make emotes. This works great. And they actually have a PNGTuber function in it. So when I did some collabs with some people and stuff like that, I started to use that character. And he would talk and stuff like that, and that was in other people's chat. And my current PNGTuber model I have now was made and by a wonderful artist on VGem. And this is the current model. And that's what he looks like. And now, I only use the PNGTuber models for when I'm in somebody else's chat for the collab. And we're doing Discord and everything else, and I use that to represent me. I may have a little thing eventually inside my streams where you can change me into a PNGTuber model instead. Just something fun for it. The things that I've learned in my experience with going back and forth is something that they don't really talk about too much. Is whenever you're like a fleshy or whenever you're a PNGTuber, most PNGTubers can just talk normal and just go. And it works just fine. The mouth moves, the eyes naturally blink, things like that. You don't have to do much. Now, the one thing I did learn when becoming a VTuber is when I was first practicing getting my model to respond to me correctly. I started to learn that my model doesn't respond properly. There is a lot of issues that happen that it just doesn't seem to look and work. One of the things that I had to learn and something I had to adapt to that no one ever told me or talked about when being a VTuber is how much you have to express your emotions, the way you talk. You have to change and make it so the camera can see you better, because I use an iPhone. And I got the mic close to me, and I have to be overreactive to make the model kind of move a little bit more natural. so it's not like crazy. So to move like here, I got to move my head a lot, and to make my body move like that, I'm almost going all the way back in my seat. And it's something that they don't explain, and something that I think would help out a lot if people did talk about it a little bit. And this is one of my little things that I'm talking about. It's not going to be a long video or anything else. It's just kind of going over the different types. And that some of the stuff to help out as a VTuber when you're first starting out is to think about having a little bit of lighting at your desk so your camera picks up your movements. I have it set to where it's actually looking at my mouth, then also using how loud I am when I talk. And that helps out a little bit as well. I just realized my volume was kind of high. Because the type of mouth I have. Now the type of mouth I have can't make all the little ooh, ah, ooh, all that type of stuff. So that became an issue with me when I first started. So that's something I never thought about when I was first creating my character, because as I started as a VTuber, I just only needed to go up and down. So I never really thought about that. So then my character's design has this big old mouth where it's been sliced kind of open, skin stretching and stitches. So it changed the whole aspect of how I had to talk. I couldn't do a normal talk. I had to kind of overreact a little bit when I'm talking. And I have to be up that little extra level and all that to keep the things going. And it's something that I wish someone talked to me about, or I saw videos of people talking, and they don't really explain too much about how it is. Sometimes you hear people say, oh, when you're a VTuber, you have to act. And now I really understand what that means, as you have to act. You have to be more expressive and more dynamic, and you can't just sit there and just talk at a normal pace and hope that everything goes. No, you have to be more energetic. You have to move your head around, everything else. I'm like always moving my arms. So if I ever get anything like a 3D model distracting, my arms are going to go everywhere. So it's just one of those things that I think that I wanted to kind of put out there, especially when I'm doing the whole thing of tracking my growth, if I have any growth, as a new VTuber in 2026. That maybe just to help out other people as they're going through to start practicing. Like, hey, learn to be more expressive in how you go and see how your model works. Another thing that I learned was there was a couple videos that talked a little bit about it, but to check on see how your model reacts with you, how does the eyes tracking and everything else. And I learned that when I was talking at first, it was like that, and I had to try to figure out what was going on. So I looked at the settings inside there for my mouth smile and my mouth open, and I found out where the base level of my mouth was. They make it closed, because my original, when I first got it, the mouth would not stay closed. It was kind of almost in an open, but it wouldn't go that far up. So I had to learn to set those parameters to right so to match me. So it was just a quick little video I thought about that I would explain a little bit. I enjoy the VTuber more. I like how it expresses, how I can go back and forth, and how I change to make stuff, and how it tracks my eyes, because I love the design they did of my eyes. The artist that did it, the little studio, is just wonderful. And as you can see, like all the other creations I got, my VTubers, or my PNGTubers, of how things have changed as I've been progressing and going. And I didn't really stream a lot when I was using those. It was streaming now and then, but then I had a long workflow where I had to work for a long time, and a lot of it stopped. And then that's when I got this model, and I decided, hey, I'm going to do everything all over again. I'm kind of starting from the bottom and working my way up. So I hope this kind of helps a little bit, that if someone else is going from a PNGTuber to a VTuber, to understand to be more expressive and the change, and also just want to kind of show how my model has progressed over the time. As you can see, the 4 different variations of my model, and now I'm in my 5th, and it's the VTuber, and it's the final model. And, well, final for now. I probably had more change. There's a couple outfits I really want to try. But you can see, like, once I got into the suit, I really enjoyed it and how it progressed from there. Alright. I appreciate everybody here, and I hope to see y'all again. Alright. Bye.